The other thing I realized as I aged was that if you add a pinch of salt to like sweet things, it actually like is good.
Another fact that I have developed / learned over life is that freezing leftovers is the best way to not waste them and prevents you from eating the same fucking thing 5 days in a row. Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Good morning. How are you?
Happy Tuesday. I'm doing great.
Happy Tuesday.
What month are we even in? We're in
Dude,
April?
It's March
Almost
blasted
May.
by. I'm just whatever. I love spring. Spring is my fave, except for fall in the Midwest. Today we are bringing you a hodgepodge episode of tips and tricks. And for the record, when Kayla texted me about this, she said that we should do a hosh-posh episode. Hoshposh.
I really didn't know how to spell it. And it just looked wrong, but I sent it anyway because I was like, she'll know what I mean.
I almost didn't. And then I sat for a minute. I was like, does she say is that hodgepodge? Anyway, every once in a while, this is my favorite thing about you as a side tangent, that you're very smart and you're very professional and you're very good at things. But every once in a while, you spell things really weirdly, like a super, you don't have, you're not like a dumb blonde, but every once in a while, you just have a super blonde moment. You have like one good one for the year.
But you know what is funny? It is a lot of weird spelling stuff because I'll even say like, question mark at the end or like spelling because I know something's wrong, but I don't want to take the time to like look into it and fix it. So it's like she'll figure it out.
I just like the way brain conjures up how you imagine that something is spelled and the iconic. Wait, were you the one that said Sifoam or was that?
Yes.
Yeah, instead of seafoam.
Yeah, because seafoam in my head when I say it doesn't look like
Foam of the sea.
It looks like siphon.
Yeah, it was SYFOOM. I'll never forget it. I say seafoam to myself in my head as sifoam. Anyway.
I love that you hung on to that. Yeah, dude. I think I picture words in my head.
It's fine. Funny. I do that with pronunciations. Actually, just today I learned that brass tacks, like getting down to the brass tacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tacks, like a thumbtack, like TACKS. I thought it was tax as in pay them.
That makes more sense, though.
It makes no sense. I made Grok tell me what it means, and I'm still not satisfied. But
well,
apparently it was like back in the day. There's multiple reasons, but they might have like used brass tacks as like a unit of measurement in old timey stores, or like if you're reupholstering old furniture, you take everything down to the brass tacks. That's how they punched the furniture holder. Anyway,
that's interesting. Oh, this is a perfect segue because who knew?
Etymology lesson for the day. Okay. Well, I don't know how much my tips and tricks are really tips or tricks, but I don't feel like I've accumulated that many good ones, but I can't wait to hear what you say, and here we go.
And they're probably not that great, but we'll kick it off. Well, do you want me to kick it off with the one that I've made me think about this episode?
Yes.
Okay. So because I had to do it, I was putting on my makeup and my mascara was so dry. You know when it gets so dry and it's clumpy and it's not even really working. I don't know where I saw this, but for years I've been doing this where you just squirt a couple drops of saline because I have contacts, so I have saline all the time. And you just squirt a couple in there. I actually kind of went like, so probably like 6 drops, whatever. And then smush it around and it totally makes your mascara last longer because it rehydrates a little bit and probably like scrapes the sides off a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
No, I thought that was genius. I've never had this come up. I don't wear mascara every day.
I'm just so lazy to go to the store and get another tube. So I'm like, let me last a longer time.
I don't blame you. I think what happens with my mascara is I just basically get to the point where I'm like, this is 5 years old. I should get a new one. Like this has to be riddled with bacteria. Anyway.
Which side note, because I didn't write this down, but almost only 2 years ago or so, I realized that makeup expires.
I feel like some expiration dates are fake news. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, but it's like 10 years.
I know. I get it. There's probably germs somewhere, but there's germs everywhere. I touch my dog and he licks his butthole, you know? Anyway, here's just a tip that I've learned from life is that making a list of things that you need to do, even little things, keeps you accountable, but the real treasure is the little bump of dopamine that you get when you cross something off.
Yes, 100%.
It's just don't avoid list making. helpful.
Literally, oh my gosh, my nose itches, guys. Sorry. This morning I couldn't fall back asleep, and so I just started making a list of things I needed to do today because I was just like going around and around in my brain. I'm like, am I just extra stressed right now, or am I getting to the age where I start doing this because I didn't used to do this? So we'll see.
It really makes me feel grounded. I love a good list, but don't fight it. Don't fight the list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it. Okay, okay. Okay. Here's a cleaning tip that nobody told me, and I'm flabbergasted about. Did you know that your dishwasher has a filter at the bottom of it? I know, it's so annoying, but it's all outrageously gross, and you should definitely clean it.
Okay, it's hysterical that you bring this up because I have been in a weeks-long battle with my dishwasher. Jason and I did like a minor change out in our kitchen. We were going to buy a new dishwasher because he accidentally cut the like drainage hose that goes from the dishwasher and into your whatever pipe. Long story long, we bought a new hose instead of a new dishwasher because dishwashers are hella expensive now unless you spend a lot of money and you don't buy like a super cheap one. And as I have previously complained to you, the wash cycles take 1 bazillion years.
Yes.
And my little buddy blasts through dishes with like 30 to 45 minutes on a normal cycle. Shit's clean. But anyway, in pulling it out, the deep clean that we did on that dishwasher, so gross. It was so gross. But also now that it's fully cleaned off, Jason literally like took off the front, like the interior panel, so we could take it out and wash it off.
Yeah.
And wipe everything down. And I think it's also Florida. There's a lot of mildew like along the seam at the bottom.
Yes.
Anyway, we got all of that clean and there's no like weird mildew smell in my kitchen anymore, which I'm horrified was coming from the dishwasher. But yeah, people, you definitely need to clean it. And also,
did you get the filter? Did you find that guy? Because it took me a second to even find it down at the bottom.
We took off some things, but I think the filter on ours is just like
it's probably set up differently because it's a little bit older.
Yeah,
but the older appliances are so much better.
Dude, they're so much better.
To be honest,
felt like it was so worth it just to give this one some TLC instead of buying something new. And I did learn from the Home Depot people that a stainless steel tub is less likely to mold and mildew than the plastic ones.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
I'm so glad you cleaned your dishwasher.
I'm intimately familiar with my dishwasher now. Anyway, another fact that I have developed / learned over life is that freezing leftovers is the best way to not waste them and prevents you from eating the same fucking thing 5 days in a row.
Dude, I have really, really channeled my inner let's freeze stuff because of you. And it's very nice because then when I don't feel like cooking, I could just pull it out.
Oh, it's the best. Yes, it's there. It's just waiting for you. You can reconstitute it very easily, but you don't have to just sit there and eat the same thing and then it just sit there and just mentally gross you out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. I've got a couple. A lot of them are like cleaning and kitchen related stuff. Here's one that's down and dirty. I did not used to close the toilet seat because honestly, I was just like lazy.
Yeah.
And then I was starting to go to an acupuncturist, and there was a sign in the bathroom that was like, it wasn't this woo-woo, but it was like, protect your energy and close the toilet seat so that, it needs to like go out, not stay in the room, right? Like flush it out, close the seat. I was like, oh, that's an interesting concept. And then I started seeing everything on Instagram about how much shit sprays, like literal shit everywhere. And I'm mortified. So for the past, probably 3 years now, we are religious toilet seat closers. But I will admit before that, I was an open toilet seat person. Not like the men's part, but the lid. I'm so sorry to my old self because that was gross. Did you know how gross that is?
I just don't think about it. How do you function in public toilets?
I like get all ready to leave the stall and then I flush and run.
I love that about you.
Or like if I'm in a one-person stall and I want to wash my hands before I leave, but the toilet's in the same area.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wash my hands and then flush unless I use my foot, but I'll flush and then hold my breath and wash my hands really fast and then run out of the toilet. Yeah.
Die at my work because there's nary a toilet seat. Okay, did you know, this changed my whole life thanks to Jason, but you can buy a doorknob that has a keypad and then you never forget your keys.
Dude, Kenny has been trying to get me to do that for one of our doors and we just haven't done it yet, but that's magical.
It's the best. I highly recommend getting the keypad I don't know. There's multiple schools of thought. I've seen it where you do the deadbolt. That's the only locking mechanism, probably because it's more sufficient. So
Yep.
you just have a plain handle and then you have the deadbolt with the numbers and it deadbolts it to lock. Ours is a keypad on just the door handle that locks, and we have a manual deadbolt.
That's
So
nice
the
when you're
deadbolt
like
only gets locked at night. But
Yep.
then I know that it's
extra.
impenetrable.
Exactly.
Anyway,
I
very
love it.
handy.
That's very
Although,
smart.
fun fact, we did have to keep a key to the deadbolt outside in a secret rock because more than once my dogs have knocked the deadbolt shut while we've been away.
I can see that.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
crazy. Okay. I want to share a tip. Maybe people know this, but I used to just put my herbs and herbs in, like I just leave it in the bag, which is so stupid. But I leave it in like the little small grocery bag and like stick it in my like vegetable drawer. But like cilantro, I've started to put it in a glass of water like flowers and it lasts so much longer.
Well, that's smart.
Oh yeah, new one. Yes. Okay. It's so helpful. Literally makes it last like 5 times as long.
Well, that's neat. I throw mine in the freezer. They're not as nice. It's not a fluffy, nice thing, but if I'm just seasoning things, it's kind of handy because they're frozen and you can like rip them off and crinkle them.
Well, that is kind of satisfying, I bet.
But that's not cilantro you want to be fresh. But thyme and rosemary and some of those, they freeze well.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I'm going to blast through a couple real quick. Number 1, if you're not going to be motivated enough to floss, just buy the little toothpick things, the little like
1,000%.
rubbery ones, because my dentist is not going to endorse this, nor would she be happy that I'm saying this out loud, but they have literally told me it's fine. Just, it's better to do something than to
Isn't
do
that the
nothing.
same thing as flossing, basically?
I don't know. Like, I'm sure a dental person somewhere will tell you all the reasons why it's not the same. But I have a built-in retainer. And if you think that I'm going to use that little thready piece of shit and like sew my teeth every night, it's not happening. It's not fucking happening. So just go to the dentist for your cleanings and do whatever you can do in between. And no one will die.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to use the little picker thing because they're lucky if I do that. I'm not going to use the actual thread. Okay. Also, didn't really realize this until recently. You know, the Best Buy, not Best Buy, the company, but like the Best Buy dates on food.
Yeah.
I always treated them as like expiration dates, but I think it's like actually like EXP date. That's when like it expires. But most of the time it's like Best Buy, whatever date. I can still have like a couple days. That's just quality versus like actually expired and you're at risk of getting sick.
I think you're right. There's something about meat
Right?
where it's like sell by date. That's what it is. You have like
Well,
sell
yeah.
by dates on meat where they're supposed to be gone, but then you have some time.
Right?
I get confused with the best before because I think that's usually
Right.
what condiments say. I
But
don't
it's
know. I
like
figure if it's like
best
6
before.
months to a year, I'll throw it out. But also, everything has to have an expiration date, and salt doesn't expire. Like, they have to put. I saw a meme and it cracked me up because it's so true, but it was like, this is allegedly like 1,000-year-old Himalayan salt, and you're telling me it's expired? Like, that's not.
Yes,
It's
I've
just
seen
food
it.
products have to have an expiration.
There is the funniest thing that I just saw. Crap, am I going to be able to find it quickly? Because it's so on topic. Oh man, it was something to do with like Himalayan salt. People were saying that it's like the ashes of the giants or something like that. I can't remember what it said, but anyway, that's not this topic of conversation. But yeah, Best Buy, sell by, expired by, it's all a little different. And I just kind of wing it with the Best Buy and the sell by dates.
My main thing with meat is smell, and if it smells bad, I don't care what the date is, you gone.
Even if it's within the range, especially
yeah.
chicken. Oh, I'm sorry. The smell of, oh wow. I didn't really think I was going to have a reaction. Chicken and pork, if they've got a smell, it's like there's no chance.
no return.
Um,
Even chicken slime. Sometimes I don't eat a lot of chicken anymore, and when I do, I'm like, buy a meat thermometer. Just buy a
What?
meat thermometer. Stop guessing. I used to overcook everything, especially like a whole baked chicken, because you just don't know. Get a meat thermometer, then you know. Even if you're me and you have to Google the correct temperature every time, there's no guessing, and it's so handy. And I will also say, while on this topic, when you have a whole chicken that you're cooking, if you slice in the armpits, like pick up the leg, slice under the pit, of the legs and the wings, there's natural blood vessels that run through there. So if you pre-cut in those two sections, while it's cooking, everything will cook. Because sometimes your chicken might be done, but you pull
Yes.
and it's still bloody. You pre-cut those areas, you won't have that when it's done. Because it'll
That's
naturally cook and
smart.
drain.
That's really smart. That just reminded me of a different tip that I didn't write down. But when you buy like chicken thighs or usually chicken thighs, do you pull the vein, the blood vein? Oh God. Whoever told me this, I'm mad because now I have to sit there and pull out the stupid vein for every chicken thigh I have because I like know it now. And there's no blood in it. Sometimes there is. But I'm like, I can't eat the blood vessel. Like I have to pull it out now that I know where it is. Ugh, it's so annoying.
I
It's
also
so
mostly
annoying.
slow cook my chicken, and everything is so decomposed at that point. I don't know.
But it's the fact that I know it's in there. I know it's so bad. But I hate it. Okay. The other thing I realized as I aged was that if you add a pinch of salt to like sweet things, it actually like is good.
Yeah.
I never
Salt on
understood why.
watermelon.
Well, no, 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 no. We're not going that far. That's
Have you ever put
gross.
a pinch of salt on your
No,
lunch?
I have, and it's gross. My dad loves it, and I absolutely hate it. I've tried it. So I'm not knocking it, but I just don't like it.
Y'all.
Like maybe like what's that seasoning called?
Tagine.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm more talking about like cookies and like baked goods.
Hot chocolate.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Well, it's like the salted caramel cookie. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense. And I never really understood it, but it like brings out the sweetness.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
There's definitely a spot where you can do just enough salt where it doesn't make it a salted sweet flavor. It's just
Right.
enough to accentuate it.
Yes.
Amen. I remember the first time I put flaked sea salt on chocolate chip cookies, and Jason thought I'd had an aneurysm.
So good though.
Dude, this is the best freaking thing. Okay, I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna do two more in tandem, and then I'm gonna save the rest of my hosh poshes, and we'll do hosh posh part 2 next week.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so just part 1 of 1, buy a Dutch oven, because
Yes.
even the absolute shittiest cut of meat, if you cook it low and slow in a Dutch oven, it's amazing. I bought like trash ribs, beef ribs that were very inexpensive at the grocery store. They would have been garbage. They would have been garbage any other way. They would have been tough and chewy, but
Mm-hmm.
7 or 8 hours on 300 degrees with some beef broth in there,
Mm.
it just falls off the
It
bone.
is such a delectable, rich bite. Sorry.
It's
That's
so
what if you're doing beef, it's so good.
even
Yeah.
like pork, anything. And if it's not a very fatty cut of meat, you can add fat, like add something fatty to it just to prevent it from drying out and cover it
Mm-hmm.
with broth or wine or beer. Like you can't mess it up. It's the biggest, easiest, no-brainer, best way to cook anything I've ever experienced.
You got me on the Dutch oven. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's the best. And then my secondary to that, because they get really dirty, did you know, per Instagram, and I've done it, you can boil water with baking soda. So like put a bunch of baking soda, put it like halfway full of water, let it come to a boil with the cover on, turn it off, and then just leave it sit. And then when you pull it off, dump out the water, you can like wipe those stains right off.
Is that what you did when you came to my house and you cleaned mine, or you just clean it right away really good and you got all the stuff off? Remember that?
Yours
Well, that's a good
yours
thing.
still has like a decent sheen. Mine is so raggedy because it's pretty old at this point. So it's kind of hard. But yeah, if you clean it right away, it definitely helps. But
No,
if you if you get beyond that, or if it just gets real mucked up, it won't maybe get every single thing. But dude, and it's just baking soda. Like you don't have to use a harsh cleaner. You don't have to worry about something like making it off flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Baking soda is the unspoken hero of cleaning. And while I'm here, and the last thing I'll say is that if your oven door is fucked and cloudy, they get like filmy
Yes.
on the inside. Baking soda and water enough to make a paste, smear it on, let it dry, and then take like a razor knife, the flat ones, and you can scrape that shit off and it'll be brand new.
All right, I'm putting that on my list of things to do. That's
Life
awesome.
changing. No chemicals. Dude, I would have asphyxiated myself with some kind of harsh cleaning toxin. And I ended up doing it in the bottom of my oven too, because I don't have one that does like the self clean,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't even like anyway, because you just put a chemical in there and then you roast the chemical alive and stank up your house. So anyway,
Yeah.
baking soda,
Yeah.
use it.
Okay. Good to know. I love it. Well, We'll come at you with more next week.
Oh, I
Posh,
said that.
posh.
I know, I said all that in the beginning, like I wasn't gonna have anything, and apparently I made a fairly long list the other day.
I love it.
Anyway, let us know what you guys have learned in your years of life. What is this, 15 years of adulthood? I'm counting
Which
from
is
when I was
weird.
20.
What?
Because anything, like 20 to,
We are 15 years past 20. Oh, shit.
well, almost.
I was literally thinking 15. Like 15. I was 15 when 15 years ago.
It was. You were. You're 30. Okay, and on
Yeah.
that note,
Love
I
you.
love you. Bye.